Kayla and I were out of town on this Goodwill trip. We were actually in North Carolina around the Wilmington area. They have a ton of Goodwills up there, so we hit about 4 or 5 of them. And at the end of the video, remember, I do say exactly how much I think I'm going to make, and I go over every item that I bought and the sold comps on it. So in Myrtle Beach, I'm used to having a lot of golf clubs to look over. This one right here, this was their golf club section, but I do end up getting some really good golf clubs out of here. The one I'm about ready to pull out is definitely going to be a winner, and remember, I do go over it and tell you exactly why that's such a good golf club at the end of the video. So right here, this is why I always say make sure you comp your tennis rackets. These tennis rackets have checked all my boxes on good tennis rackets. They were lightweight. They had the one-piece bottom part that I always talk about looking at. They had a little bit thicker on the outside of it. They just looked, they were new, but after I comped them out, they were only worth about 20 bucks, and they wanted $10 for them. All right, this is where knowledge is really going to hurt me. These are Tory Burches, and I know that symbol. The thing is me and Kayla could not identify if these things were authentic in the store. We actually find 2 pair of those sandals. Again, we were like, I don't know if these things are authentic, and I would rather be safe than sorry when it comes to these designer companies, because I don't want any strikes on my eBay account about selling counterfeit items. So we actually leave these behind, and the lady behind us actually picked both of these up. Now, everybody was saying how nice my Salvation Armies are. This is actually a Salvation Army a little south than Wilmington. This thing was immaculate. A lot of new items. Their prices were a little bit high. We didn't buy anything, but I wanted to keep this clip in just to show you how nice this Salvation Army was. All right, so this is our 4th or 5th stop of the day, and we really haven't found anything. This is our last Goodwill before we make it back into South Carolina, and the worker is putting out shoes, and I am like, man, I haven't found anything all day long. So I basically sit here and follow her around because I can see she has a pretty good pair of shoes in there, and here they are. There are Merrells with the sheep skin like lining. I don't know what this thing says. It looks like a 050 on the bottom, and that's how they price things. So I actually go up to the cash register and ask, and they said that they were only $2.50, so that's definitely going to be a buy. So we make back in South Carolina, and we're in the thrifting mood, so I definitely go out and hit a couple more thrift stores. And this is actually a pretty decent tennis racket. The comps are a little low on it. They wanted $7, but at the end of the video, I'll tell you why I picked this tennis racket up, and I think it's going to be a good deal. Also, you saw those Callaway golf clubs. They're still asking $260 for that set. This is a room in one of my Salvation Armies. I never go in it because I don't sell this type of stuff. This is where they have their linens and their pillows. But I do find 2 sleeping bags here. They are Coleman. They were asking, I think, $4.99 for them. I didn't get them because I just didn't unravel them to make sure they weren't damaged. But I actually think that's a pretty good price for those Coleman sleeping bags. All right, so go to the pots and pans section. I find this really cool apparatus here. I actually don't know what this is right off the bat. I actually have to look it up because I was like, I don't know what it is. And I know that y'all probably know right off the bat what this is. If you do, always tell me down below. I do know what it is now because I did comp it out, and it is worth buying for sure. I go to my other Goodwill. Their hat section looks a little sad, but it is full of some really nice hats. I end up buying, I think, 4 or 5 of them. Again, hats at my Goodwill are 99 cents, so easy to turn a profit when it comes to these hats. All right, found that really good tennis racket here, and I look over and I see this really cool thing. These are the book covers. If you remember, I remember when I was a kid, I had to put book covers on my books. I thought, this thing might be worth some money. I scan it, it's not worth anything. I do find this really cool plastic bat, and some plastic bats, especially like the original wiffle ball bats, can be worth a ton of money. I had to make sure because this thing is super like realistic looking, but this is 100% a plastic bat. Brand new, it goes for like 10 to 15 bucks. They wanted $3 for it in pre-owned condition, so it wasn't worth picking up, but definitely cool. All right, so we are back at the house from our long travels of going to North Carolina and back, and this is the only stuff that we picked up. Not too bad though, because we didn't go up there just to go thrifting. We had something else that I'll tell you actually at the end of the video. Kind of a surprise what we were doing up there, but let's go ahead and get started on some stuff. So right here, you saw me pick these up for $2.50 because me and the cashier had no idea what that said, so she said $2.50. I said absolutely. These are some good looking Merrells, and they got that fur on the inside. Pretty clean shoes. Like, don't have to really clean these at all. Just have to take that marker off. And these sell easily. Brand new, I actually was surprised how much these sell brand new. I think it's over $100, but on the used market, about 30 to 45 bucks. Now, you did see me say that I picked up a good golf club, and here it is. Now, Titleist is a really good name to pick up, but this is a 2-iron. Now, 2 irons and 1 iron. So if there was a 1 on this or a 2 on it, they're pretty hard to find, and they're still very desirable. This one right here is going to go probably 35 to 45 bucks. I only paid $2 for it. Easy to clean. This one's actually in super good condition, so not too bad there. And this was about the only golf clubs I found at that area. I did find these. These were in that bag. And these are a children's set, and I really don't ever pick this brand up because it's an okay brand to pick up, but since I have the whole kids set and they only wanted $9 for it, these will definitely need some cleaning, but there's only been 1 listed, 1 sold in this whole set for $60 plus shipping. The bag was totally destroyed, so the bag is no good, and I will go ahead and it's not even worth fixing, so that'll be discarded. But with kids clubs, what you want to make sure in juniors clubs is you definitely want to make sure this is not dented. A lot of times the driver in the woods will have some pretty big dents on them just because they're learning how to golf and they hit the stuff with it or whatnot, and it'll have some pretty big dents. These are actually in super good condition, other than not, I just got to clean them up. So easy 60 bucks there. Then to the tennis rackets. Now this tennis racket caught my eye. I paid up for this. I paid $7. This is a Head Monster tennis racket. It's in super good condition, as you can tell. Like, it doesn't even look very used at all, but the grip is bad. So just always make sure that, you put that in the description that the grips are bad on the tennis racket. Also, if you see right there that 4.5, make sure you put that's the size of the grip, and everybody wants to know that when they're buying tennis rackets. So whenever you see that 4.5 right there, go ahead and put that in the description. If not, you will be asked a million times. Now, this right here, I picked up for $7, and there's a sold comp for $9.99. But I'm telling you that they undersold that. This thing, the ones that are listed now are for about 75 to 150 bucks. I think it's worth $45. There was one that went for 45 and they took a best offer, but I'm saying easily 35, but probably as high as 45 for that one. And this one right here is almost in like brand new condition. I mean, there's no scuff marks, but there is one little thing, and I had to make sure that this was not a crack, and it's not a crack. That is just where something hit it sharp and just took the paint off of it right there. But the grip is good, and that's kind of hard to find. Usually when you find a tennis racket in the thrift, the grip is the first thing that goes. But this one right here is the Wilson 4 105, and I think this goes for about 30 bucks. So really not too bad. They're easy to ship and list, and they're very hard to break in shipping. So I like selling tennis rackets. Now to the hats, you know, 99 cents a hat. So I have a whole bunch of them. O'Neill is a surfing brand. Not too bad. This is a patch hat, snap-on. This is actually a newer hat still being sold at Lids, and they sell for $28. But I think they're out of stock right now. So this might be listed for as high as like maybe $19.99. Old Germany hat right here. This is listed on eBay for about 15 bucks, and that's about the going rate. I probably listed $12 plus shipping. This hat right here is, and this is a name brand, and this is the brand right there. It's Burlebo, but not a lot is out there on this brand. But this hat is so easy to keyword. Trout, you know, stars and stripes, red, white, and blue, America, mountain. I mean, there's just so much that you can put into the keywords on this hat, and I'm telling you, this hat will sell easily. People like wearing trouts for some reason. If you like to trout fish, this is a good hat. Probably $15 plus shipping. Southern Tide, super good brand to pick up. That's their logo right there. I find a lot of Southern Tide back here. This is a snap-on hat, but the hat itself is almost like a performance material. It's a really nice material. I'll probably sell this about $12 plus shipping, or this might be kept because I wear a lot of hats and I go through a lot of hats, and I like Southern Tide stuff, so very cool. And then just kind of like a funny hat right here, retirement, and I'm spending my children's inheritance. So definitely funny there. These things usually go, you know, old vintage funny hats, about $12 plus shipping. This right here is their Krups Open Master 404. So this opens up cans. So it's like a can opener. Got to be cleaned up a little bit. Picked it up for $4. These comps are all over the place. $9.99 to $39.99. And so I'm listing mine right in the middle. 20 bucks plus shipping. I'll sit on it just because it's easy to list, easy to ship, easy to store. But that's not too bad for $4. Now the biggest and kind of like the more of the unknown thing that I picked up here is I don't pick up a lot of cleats, but these caught my eye because they did say fly knit on them. And anytime something says fly knit, I tend to comp it out. These are missing some of the metal studs at the bottom, which I don't think is that big of a deal. Nothing's broken on the bottom, and they just need to be cleaned up a little bit, but they're not in bad condition. No holes or anything. Now remember, on Nike shoes, on the tag, way in there, there's a code. I ran that code, none listed, one sold, $139. So in pre-owned condition. So I don't know about how much these are going to go for on the breakdown. I'm going to say 50 bucks. I could be way off. They could be double that or only worth $20. But I'll have to figure out exactly how much these things are going to go for. Picked them up for $7, but I'm thinking easy 50, maybe all the way up into the $100 mark. But so right there, that's everything that I bought today to be a full-time eBay reseller. Now, if you traveled, say, as far as we did, it was about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive from where I'm at to Wilmington, North Carolina to go thrifting, it would have been a bust. Straight up, you would have lost money. You could have deducted the money, obviously, for your gas mileage on your taxes, but you really wouldn't have made any money considering we only picked up a couple items there. But the reason why we're up there, huge news in me and Kayla's life, we are getting married. So actually a fun fact, I think a lot of people think we're already married, but we're not, we're just, you know, engaged. But we'll be getting married in a couple months, and she was the one that got me into flipping things online. Before her, I didn't ever step foot in a Goodwill, nothing. She would drag me to Goodwills, and I'd be like, this is dumb. And she was like, hey, you know, you can make some money in here. And I was like, no way. She showed me. She kind of did it as a little side hustle because she, you know, works at the hospital. And then next thing you know, I flipped a teapot, and the rest is history. I ended up quitting my job and doing this full time. So we're getting married in March, and we're super excited about that. Real quick, I do want to go ahead and thank a couple people. Also, Philip, you bought something from my store. I much appreciate the support. Also, Carlos, Angela, and Josephine, you guys have bought the last snap-on blocks. They are done. I have 0 more. I might have a couple more we're doing some stuff with, but I have no more actually for sale at this time. So I much appreciate everybody. It's the last time you're going to hear me say the words snap-on racing blocks. I know if you've been watching the channel a while, you're probably super happy about that. They're all sold out. I do appreciate everybody that watches, and you know I will always catch you on the next one.